song especially because of all the things that's happening in the world today. We're hating on each other, killing each other. Just no love, no love. One of these mornings won't be very long. You'll look for me and I'll be gone. When I get to heaven, I'm gonna see my son. I'm gonna see my grandson. Oh! Oh! Oh, Lord! I just walk around and I ain't ready to die. Don't y'all get it twisted. Heaven all day. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
You ready?
I need help with my tie.
What the hell is wrong with your hair? Come over here, let me see.
I'm not done yet.
I can't believe of all times you get your hair done for everything else and you didn't get it done for this. It's ridiculous. This past spring, my grandson, Andre, was shot and killed while visiting St. Louis. I try and remember the good times with Andre and who he really was as a person. I tell you what, we are all so proud of you. You did it. I knew you could do it.
I'm just glad that I got the opportunity to graduate. Because
Me
I know
too.
if I was still in Texas, I probably wouldn't graduate.
So why you think you wouldn't have graduated had you stayed home?
Because one, only time I would have got help with schoolwork would have been right. We had a game coming up, and for two, the people there, I don't know. I guess I would have been fighting, got kicked out of school plenty of times. I'm not sure where I'd be without grandma's help, but I know I wouldn't be graduating high school. I want to thank you for helping me, letting me stay in and move in with you, and keep me out on the street.
Me. I'm your grandmother. I was glad to do it because you kind of kept me company. My biggest hope for him was to graduate from high school, and he did his best to do that.
This is a huge graduation.
Andre, Lawan, Montgomery.
When he got on stage and got that diploma, I felt like I got it.
Look out, world. I'm coming through. Turn up. How about that?
Andre wasn't just a murder victim. I ain't did this in so long. Or a victim of gun violence. Or a young black man who lost his life too soon. What would I do without you? What would I say to my friends if they knew you walked away? Now what would I do? He was my grandson, and there were so many things that I loved about him. And I still do. We were through.
I'm gonna get that. When I get that, I'm gonna.
You gonna call me? All right.
Yep.
All right, that's a good stuff. You're taking after your granny.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Learn from the best.
Good. All right.
What up, what up, what up, my 4C gang? Welcome to another episode with your boy, Cooking with Comedian Michael Allen, where we do cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. 4C gang for life, baby. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Look, you guys, I just had to do another video about sweetie pies. You know, I was sitting, well, laying down, and, you know, a lot of people do, you know, you go through YouTube, you keep seeing these people doing all these videos and videos and videos. And I know that Tim Norman went to court yesterday. We had a court hearing. And it just, I was asleep. You know, when I'm asleep, I think my mind just goes a whole lot. And I kept thinking, and I kept thinking about this case, and I kept thinking. And the little drama I got with the old crazy girl that just caught, that's a whole nother video. But I was laying there, and I said, you know what? I want to come from a perspective. Not a legal perspective. I don't want to talk all the legal mumbo jumbo and what he's got and what's going to happen. That's just not me. That's not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is more of a personal, on a personal level. I'm coming from more of a why, a how come. I was talking to my mother, and I asked my mother the question. I said, Mama, if I went to prison or I was arrested for one of her grandsons, because I have a lot of nephews, but I said, if I killed one of them, what would be your feelings? How would you feel? Would you still support me? Would you come to my court dates? Would you, just like in the court yesterday, in the proceedings, they said if they were to give Tim a bond for him to get out, that he would stay with Miss Robbie. I have to think about that. Miss Robbie must be something to really go through. That must be really something to go through. On one hand, you have a mother's love, but on the other hand, you have a grandmother's pain. Come on, somebody. You have a mother's love, but yet you have a grandmother's pain. It's deep. It's deep. And I keep saying to my, and that's why I wanted to ask my mother, would you continue to support me? She said, well, I don't know. It would depend on what you did it for. Then I kept asking her more questions. Then my mother, being the comedian she is, she said, damn it, why don't you just kill somebody and then we'll see what happens from there. My mama said it. But I really that thing just keeps sitting down in me too. I've had some real issues with a nephew or two. Some drag-out fights. But I've never wanted to see them dead. If we look at Andre's journey on Sweetie Pies and how he came and, some of the things, when he told her, when he said, Grandma, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have graduated from high school. Or when she said, I love you and you kept me company. And that young man had so much life in him, so much left to do. And he would have did it the right way. I wish that I personally could talk to Tim, because you got to be, allegedly, if he did it, that is a special, for you to plot and connive and to think, okay, let me do this, then I can get some money to better myself. But you are taking out your own flesh and blood in order to do it. I look at some of the pictures with Andre holding TJ. Holding TJ sitting there. I looked at the little video where Tim is at Andre's graduation and he holds up TJ when they all scream out the name. Either you are a good damn actor or you just a cold-hearted son of a bitch. I mean, this thing woke me up out my bed. It's 8 o'clock. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning going through video footage, just looking at Tim's face, trying to see, looking at videos of his reaction around Andre. I know, okay, have y'all ever made a decision and you might have ended up in jail or you got in trouble for it, and you said to yourself, if I just had not done that, if I hadn't have ran through that red light, if I hadn't have made that U-turn, I wouldn't be in, but you can't tell me that Tim is not sitting there now doing a what if, what could have. Because one thing for sure in life, everything gets better. I don't care. Trouble don't last always. And it wasn't that serious to where you had to take out your own nephew's life. Your brother, who was no longer here. And I'm wondering if Tim and Andre Sr. had been close in age, would that have been a difference in that? Because he might have, I wonder what their relationship was like. And I'm wondering now, Miss Robbie, I know that has to be a hard place to be put in, to where this is your deceased son's child, his only living offspring, and then another your son that you love, that you've had longer than the other son, that you've been trying to love and trying to do the right thing and wanting him to succeed in life, and yet he snuffed out your grandson, allegedly. This is not even to say what Andre's side of the family, his mother and all of them, and the aunties and the siblings and everything, what they're going through. This whole thing is just so unbelievable to me, and trust and believe, I've seen a lot of things in my life, but this particular case here has me just boggled and baffled. And then the other thing about it is, it wasn't like they were a family that was just nobody knew. You have a whole platform. You were on TV. You don't think questions would have been asked. You in the spotlight. You thought that that boy would just be murdered and nobody would think. He wasn't no kid like that. He would just be murdered and nobody would even question it or look into it. And it had to show you what Tim minds were. If this is true, it had to prove to you what Tim's mind was, his psyche. Because to sit down and say, you know what, okay, I need this money, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill Andre. I'm going to have Andre killed. I can get that money. That shows you how dumb. I wouldn't want to take anybody's life. Anybody's life, no. Because there's a higher power that you have to answer to. Now, I look at the other family members, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. If it was because when one of my viewers said, one of my subscribers said, it kills me. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. And okay, you going for that celebrity, but when things go bad or things ain't going right, you are the first person that's going to be in the forefront, and you are up for scrutiny. They're going to scrutinize you because you put yourself out there. So when people come and say, oh my God, let the family do this, you know what? Like I said in my other video, we're going to talk about it when it's good. We're going to talk about it when it's bad. There is no way everybody's just going to hush up and something like this happen to Andre, who was one of my favorite kids. I love to see him and Charles interact all the time. They were goofy. I love when they did the little delivery service, or just when Charles tried to speak to him. Now, it's been people out there to me, I think some of the family knew, and I don't believe in that. I don't think that is a heartless family like that. No. I believe this was all, if Tim did this, it was all Tim, and Tarika knew what was happening, and she was in on it, and the insurance agency, they all knew. They all knew. Like I said, Tim was intimidated by that young man, Andre. You were not intimidated, but you were bothered. You were worried. You were worried that he was going to end up with that business, because I don't think Miss Robbie, when Miss Robbie sued Tim, that really made him feel on the outskirts. When he sat there in that one episode and said, I don't feel, can you believe I worked enough I can't use the Sweetie Pie's name? Evidently you couldn't. So that was the first thing of him feeling a little disconnect from his mother when she sued him. And then her loving on Andre the way she is. So Tim looked at him as a roadblock, as a barrier. So, but for him to be able to dispose of that boy's life like that, I wonder if Tim believe in God, because you have to answer. There's some things we got to answer for. On Judgment Day, we got to answer. And then, when you look at I have nephews, and this is one thing. I lived my life the way I wanted to and tried to fulfill my dreams. I didn't live it through my mother. I went after my own dreams and my own aspirations. So I never looked at my nephew. Like, Tim probably looked at Andre and said, you know what? He want to be a rapper, knowing I want to be a rapper. And I didn't know. you're looking at this young, youthful man, but yet all your youth was in prison. So you already have this dislike and this disdain for him. Now your mama loving on him because she ain't. And then when I look at your son, TJ, you know, a lot of times parents sacrifice for their children. A lot of times when the parent is out doing something, they may not, they say, you know what, hold up, Mikey. They think about their kids and they won't do it. Tim, not once did you think about your 2 children. That's not even, let's put your mama out the picture and all that. Your loins, the fruits of your loins, your offspring, did you ever once think of TJ? Did you ever once think of your other son? To say, hey, if I do this and I get caught, I am not going to be able to ever see them again. Or how about, did you just think of your deceased brother to say, this is the only living thing we have of him. This is all my mother has to look at to remind her of her son. Are you that self-centered, that jealous, that narcissistic? I'm not even going to say that word because everybody's used it so many times. But I'm just saying, I would love to interview Tim because I wonder, what were you thinking? And I know we're innocent until proven guilty, so let me keep saying alleged. I would pray down in my soul that he didn't do it because that is just unthinkable. And what they say, may your soul rot in hell. Oh, remember those when you do something? I just could not fathom, like I keep saying. I had to ask my mother, and it made me think about my nephews. It made me think about them and say, you know, I got some I like and some I don't like. Let's just be honest. Just because you family don't mean y'all gonna always get along. But I don't dislike anybody in my family enough to I want to see them dead. Or much less me be the one that sets it up and plots it. All for money. I would love some of the behind. See, that's what some of the family needs to speak out. Come on, tell a story. Set the record straight. Stop letting everybody speculate and say something. The one cousin, the light-skinned cousin, I forget, the one that was in business with Janine, I forget her name. Speak up, baby. Charles, y'all had so much to say on the show. Just people want to know. That ain't being nosy. That's, you brought us into your lives. You came into our homes through on TV. When y'all signed up for it, y'all were opening yourself up to the world. I really want to know, I know it's been more than enough time. Make some type of statement, not just pray for us. How many times they did confessionals on Sweetie Pies and they talked about this and talk? Yes, we want to know. We want to know because, first of all, I still just think it's unbelievable that, first of all, Andre's not here. And like I said, I did a whole video on Michelle Griggs. My heart still goes out to her and the loss of her child and to the siblings on the loss of their brother and the aunties and all of them. That's one thing. But now when you look at this other side of the family, the daddy side of the family, not only is the daddy killed, not only was Tim daddy's killed, it's like a curse or something on that family. But why would you have to bring Andre Jr. in there? It's no reason that young man should be dead. He had so much potential, so much he could have done in this life. And now you have Miss Robbie, who you like. I don't even know how you can even fathom that. Because on one hand, you love your son. You want to. Sometimes we can trick ourselves into believing that somebody didn't do something when all the evidence points towards them. That's because love is blind. Love will blind you. But the same love she had for Tim, why couldn't Tim have that same love for his dead brother's son? For his deceased brother's son? So, Miss Robbie, I know it's hard for you to be stuck in the middle saying, not stuck in the middle, but saying, okay, I got the love for my son, but the pain that I'm having for my grandson. And if you think about it, the son that I love may have been the one that caused the pain for my grandson. I wonder did Tim think killing Andre, getting that $450,000, probably would have made Miss Robbie so sad that she would have just died of a broken heart. Because, it's just sick and deranged. You know what? It just makes what I felt for me. And I'm saying, you look at the good in everything. And the good part is, if Tim did it, he's off the street. And he won't be able to hurt anybody else. He won't be able to hurt Miss Robbie. He won't be able to hurt TJ or the other son if he needed money, because evidently being family don't mean shit to him. Being family don't mean shit. You a target. Hell, it's probably best not to be kin to his ass, allegedly. But it makes me sit now and look and just think that the issues I have with just family members in general, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. I can let that go. I'm not even worried about it. I could not sleep. And like I said, I have no stake in this. I have no stake. And if Tim goes to prison, if he don't, if he did it, if he didn't. But just the point that Andre is the young man. Andre died the day after my birthday. My birthday is March 13th. So that's another connection I have. I'm like, wow, that was the day after my birthday that this young man was killed. And I'm telling you, it was like this. When I watched Sweetie Pies, and I was an avid Sweetie Pie, I still go back and watch old episodes. Watching Chloe and Charles and the Chef Clark. Wasn't her name Chef Clark? Which I really didn't like too much. The girl Danielle, which I thought was dinky as hell. And just all of those people. And I remember those episodes. But you know what? The whole time I watch it, all I keep thinking about, Andre. Oh my God, Andre. Wow, Andre. When Andre would come in, when him and her was playing the piano together, oh my God, that just, she said, I don't know what I would do without you. Wow. And he says, I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to learn this song and sing it to you. Those moments him and Charles would be together. Or the smile, the way his smile would just light up the TV screen. Okay, y'all, I am just going in because I slept, and look, I don't even be trying to think about it, but when you go through YouTube and you keep seeing all these Sweetie Pie stories, okay, but I get it. But it make you self-evaluate. It makes you think of yourself. I have to ask myself, I could never kill one of my nephews. Boy, I wanted to choke the shit out of them. I wanted to choke the hell out of them, beat their ass, but it's never been killed. From the day I remember all of my nephews, I remember when each one of them were born, and as they were born, I never thought I would be the one, even crossing my mind to say I could kill this little baby. When they grow up, I can kill them. Is it for the fact I have to dig deeper and see, had they always been a part of Andre's life the whole time he's been living? Because how do you have such a disconnect like that with a family member that you can just assassinate them like a piece of trash, like they're nothing, like an enemy? That boy wasn't your enemy, Tim. But you know what? As you sit in prison and you go to court day to court day to court day, and I hope that is weighing on your heart. I hope it's weighing on your mind that you spend the rest of your life, if you're guilty, trying to repent, trying to ask the Lord for forgiveness to save your soul. Because I'll be watching it. We're all watching it. We're all watching it. All right, y'all. This is your boy, Cooking with Comedian Michael Allen. You know, normally I'm laughing and joking, but like I said, this thing woke me up, and I just cannot. You know, I look back and think about my uncles. My uncle would slap the hell out of me, slapped me in the back of the head, or cussed me out, kicked him. I mean, I had that uncle that didn't play, but I never once thought that my own uncles would ever kill me. And I'm sure Andre didn't think it either. Well, evidently he must have, because what he said, if anything ever happens to me, it's going to be Uncle Tim. You know, some people don't even deserve to be called uncle. And I'm wondering how the fellow inmates in there are treating him, or do they have him in segregation? Because, you know, you have some people that can't stand anybody that kills family members. You on TV 1 minute and running stores, and now you in a cell. What is it, 5x9, something like that? Cell. Eating slop, eating chow. Having to piss in front of your cellmate and sit down and shit in front of your cellmate. Well, maybe you missed that. Maybe you missed that. Maybe you want to go back home where you belong. I don't know. I don't want to go too hard. I want to let justice take its course. You know, the justice system do what they do. Personally, I believe you did it. It's too many things pointing towards you. You know. I knew you was something else, Tim, but I never thought you were that cold-hearted, that mean, that cold, that calculated, that messed up, that deranged. That's a special kind of evil, to sit up and think of something like that. And what did you have policies out on your children? Did you have one out on yourself? We know you had $1 million out on your mama. And that's why I would be scared. Look, that's what my mother did say this. I said, Mama, so if they were to give me a bond, say I was in, because I was saying, you know, the Sweetie Pie store. My mom never even really watched Sweetie Pies, but I told her about it. And she said, hell no, you couldn't live with me. Not especially if you had $1 million policy out on me and I didn't know about it. She said, I would talk to you and pray with you, but I would have to be done with you. And to just know my mother would be done with me, that's heartbreaking enough. That kills me right there. To know that my mother would not speak to me and turn her back on me. But something that evil would make a parent. Some parents they have cut their children off for less than that. Some people have cut their children off for being gay. Put them out and never spoke to them again. Some families have put their children out and not spoke to them because they married a different race. So, but isn't it something when you look at that stuff don't mean nothing when it comes to somebody taking somebody's life. I'd rather have a gay child. I'd rather have a different color race child than a murderer child, than a child that murders. I feel so sorry for the family on all sides. I really feel sorry for Miss Robbie, because you are in a place that no mother would ever, a mother and grandmother would never want to be, to where you got to love on a person that killed a person you loved. You have to love on a person that took your grandchild away from you. Oh, trust and believe. I'm sure all these stories out here, but we are praying for you. We are praying for you. It's not out here like, oh, we are reveling in y'all mishap. No. A lot of us are in disbelief. I'm still in disbelief. And I pray for Miss Robbie that she gets through this and she lives a long life and she doesn't die from a broken heart, or, you know, I hope what Tim has done allegedly does not reflect her and her business. And, you know, or even in the court, they said, well, if he get out, you know, he will have an employment. I would never go eat at Sweetie Pies if he was cooking or he worked there. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I would disassociate myself if I was Miss Robbie. Pull on back. You can have his back without being... I can't tell you what to do with your child. I'm just saying, on a business, from a business aspect, the same way he took, allegedly, Andre's life about money, don't mess up your money trying to have his back. Because I don't think many people will go to Sweetie Pies and eat at any one of them if Tim has anything more to do with it. Until he's just found not guilty, which I don't think that that's going to happen, but that's just my opinion. All right, y'all. That was on my soul. I had to say it today. I had to feel it. Y'all know normally I don't even do Sweetie Pies videos, but I'm going to do them as long as I want to because I keep it sit with me for some reason. All right, this is your boy, Cooking with Comedian Michael Allen, where we do cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. 4C game for life. Baby, we doing conversations and commentaries too, ain't we? I enjoyed you guys. I hope you guys loved that food video I did. I have to come back with another video, you guys, when I tell y'all what Miss Piggy did this time. Y'all are going to laugh. I'm not even going to give her that much shine, though, but I will address her. Look, is this your first time at my channel? Please do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Like it. Comment. Make a comment. You know I love them comments. I try to answer every comment. And share my video. Go ahead and share it. But most of all, this is what I want you to do. I want you to ring my bell. Ring my bell. My bell. Ring my bell. You can ring my bell. You can ring my bell. You can ring my bell anytime, any day. Just ring it. Ring it. Ring that bell. So you'll be the first one of the first ones to know whenever I drop a video, okay? All right. This your boy, Comedian Michael Allen. I love you, but I just don't love you more than I love my damn self. Watch. Don't judge me. Judge you. Rest in peace, Andre. Gone but never forgotten. Peace.